watch Survivor, and when the show ends, you really want to talk about it with like-minded friends. It might be hard to find some, but don't you shed a tear. Check out the Purple Rock Podcast, and this is what you'll hear. John will make some dumb jokes, and he likes to yell and curse, and if they're not available, the backup hosts are so much worse. Spend the whole time being jerks, telling you you're wrong, and so we got this other jerk to sing you our theme song. It's the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast. I am your one true host, Andy, and with me this week for the second time this season, but the first time you guys are hearing it, Matt, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. I just couldn't deprive the listeners of my, original opinions about this season. Definitely not stuff that other people have said.
Yeah, just in case, I'm going to hit save now, and then I'll just do that every few minutes, and we should be good to go.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely not getting lost, guys. Don't worry. You're going to hear this podcast.
And it's exciting to have you back because I'm sure your opinions have radically changed since the first week. So we'll find out.
Fortunately, I'm old, and I don't even remember what my opinions were. So, it's all fresh to me, too.
And, at this point, you are more of the co-host of this podcast than the guy whose name is in the song, who I think just forgot that he had a Survivor podcast. I don't know. Maybe he's back next week. Maybe I won't be. We'll just find out. But instead, like Survivor itself, we just choose to switch things up, which is actually the official nomenclature that Jeff uses. But we as fans say that we had a swap. We had a swap this episode. What did you think of the episode as a whole? Did you enjoy it?
Honestly, not really.
Nah.
Yeah. You knew what I was going to say, and I was thinking about saying it, and I didn't say it because it's the worst thing you could possibly say about an episode of Survivor. So instead, I listened to my heart, and the answer was, nah, I didn't really enjoy it.
Well, hopefully everybody's looking forward to however many minutes it says on your podcast where we're going to discuss this. I'll say I think that this was probably an improvement from last week. Or at the very least, we get a change, right? We get a change of what's going on.
Low bar.
Yeah. But, so we're not getting the same story of the Blue Tribe losing. And in fact, we still have a Blue Tribe and they did not lose. And of course, those records carry over. It's really important when new people put on the laundry that we tag them with the failures of the past people.
Oh, it's like how the Milwaukee Brewers have this Seattle Pilots, one season of records, as part of their franchise.
What an illustrious season of records those are. Yeah, they could play each other, and the all Seattle World Series could happen.
Definitely not happening, though.
So we get that switch up, but yeah, the issue is that a lot of swap episodes, while giving us, fresh dynamics, the decision making is usually pretty basic, right? There's usually a tribe that comes into it under, with the lower numbers. And then it's just which of them goes, which is exactly what happened this week. So yeah, I don't know if this episode was on the positive side of good, but at least it was different. And
yeah, no, and that I agree with. I'm glad to get away from the same old, stuff that we've been dealing with the Blue Tribe. But the problem with swapping to two, and the reason why they haven't done it in so long, is because it makes the decision making very simple and straightforward. If you swap to three, it sometimes forces you to work with people who might have been on the same tribe as you, but you might not have gotten along with. And that's more interesting than what we got here was just, three people that were in alliance together, one person that thinks he's in alliance with them, and then three other people. So it's just...
Well, that's not even the right math. It was four of the old stuff, two and then one. So like there
well,
was
I was
no
saying that Jawan thinks he's in alliance with the other, thinks he's in tight with the other three, and they're like, yeah, we're using Jawan. So
Yeah.
because, we don't actually like him. He's kind of on the bottom. But
yeah, like even if someone like Jawan would want to jump, like the numbers are just bad in that sense.
oh yeah.
So yeah, like
Especially since Sophie just glommed onto them right away without a question.
which
So-
again, like obvious decision, right? It's a 4-2
yeah.
situation. So yeah, like this particular swap, the way it worked out, there isn't really all that interesting. Like it'd be more interesting if by some random chance we would have gotten 3-3-1 on both. Then we'd be cooking with gas.
Yes.
But no, instead it's 4-2-1 on both sides. So like from a decision making standpoint, like every other episode this season, not a whole lot of interesting decisions. But I did like that, like we got to see different things, right? Like,
Yes.
it can't just be the loser tribe every week because they're gone. They don't exist anymore, except the laundry carries on. It's so ridiculous that Jeff does that. He did that this week. He did that last season, where it's like, man, you guys really suck. You haven't gotten a win yet. It's like, it's just the one guy, Jeff. Everybody else there's actually won a fair bit.
In fact, everyone else there hasn't lost yet. So
It's like the Jerry Seinfeld rooting for laundry bit, except like it's not even like it doesn't have that less continuity than even that. I don't know. I suppose it's more similar to like the Phoenix Suns, how they went to like the NBA Finals like 3 seasons ago, and now only like one person in the entire franchise is still there. Like that's kind of like the similar thing. But yeah, I did like kind of getting to see different parts of it. But we'll talk about the decision making so as much as there was any decision making this week. We'll start there. So we got this tribe swap and really like how things went for the other tribe, the I guess now blue tribe. We don't really know because they didn't go to tribal council. So instead, we'll look at the 2 people that were on the hot seat this week. And who do you think managed the tribe swap worse?
it
Matt
was a real
or
race.
Jason? Like this is
Yeah.
like there's a real debate here. This is
Yeah, no, it's
a
a real
tight
debate
race.
because it was a real race to the bottom there. They both came in there with a particular strategy, and both of them were just like immediately turned off every decision maker on, that was remaining. You get Jason who's like, I'm going to threaten to play my shot in the dark because then they'll definitely not vote for me. And he's like, I'm going to talk about how much I love my old tribe. And, that's that terrible decision.
Mhm.
And then Matt's going to be like, I'm going to scheme really openly with people I don't even know that well. And then act surprised if that gets out. And then also throw them under the bus too to the other people. And it's like, what are you two even doing? But I guess scoreboard says that Matt played it worse.
Yeah.
I guess.
Now the thing is like to really go scoreboard, you'd have to ask yourself, would Matt have stayed if he hadn't done that? And I don't know that we know that, right? So like it's a chance that Matt was in enough peril that trying something besides just begging for mercy, I can respect it. I can respect the idea that, you know what, instead of just hoping that things work out for me and they vote out Jason, I'm going to try something different. That I can respect the idea. The approach, less so.
Well, and here's the problem with the idea. I agree. I respect the idea, but the problem is that you're putting your faith in people that you've known for less than 24 hours and that, frankly, you don't really know where they stand.
Mhm.
And they basically both even kind of admitted after they lost the challenge that they hadn't really been doing any strategizing with everyone else on that tribe. It was just kind of like, it seemed like they were just floating through that first day until the challenge, like hoping they wouldn't lose. And then they did, and they're like, oh, I guess we should try and do something.
Yeah, and maybe again, and I'm not trying to just play devil's advocate here. Matt played it very poorly. Okay, I just put that out. But like, just
No.
a generic like idea is, I guess maybe that's where the tight schedule fucks everything up, right? Like if you have
I agree with that.
like 2 days to maybe kind of integrate, and then I mean, like, it's a long shot play anyway. It's probably destined to fail, but maybe it has a chance for success that this one didn't ever have. Because here's the thing, like, he actually did pick out the person from the former Yellow Tribe.
Hina?
Yeah.
Was it Hina?
No, I guess the other one, the former Red Tribe, who would be
Uli, that's right.
most likely to flip. Like, he did pick out the person who was on the bottom. Now, some of that actually might just be fortuitous because it was also the guy that he wound up on that journey with. Or maybe that's not fortuitous. Maybe that was discussed at the journey, right? So, like, he got that. So it's like, okay, he has identified the most likely flipper. That's good. That might be the end of the good. But like in terms of like, so like if you had a bit more time, because what he doesn't do from what we see, and I'll say results can make me think that this is fair to suggest that he didn't do, is really put the time in with Sophie. Like, he was just assuming that they could get Sophie. It's like, what do you have to offer, Sophie?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yes. Sophie was, he thought, I think it's right to think you have a chance at Jawan if you had identified him or had a conversation with him that had identified him as, feeling a little out or on the bottom or something. And, good on him for picking that up. But it definitely seemed like he didn't really do anything with Sophie. And then his reaction at Tribal was like, oh, I had no idea they had Sophie in tight with them. And it's like, yeah, it's like at that point, you should be changing your plan then, man.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to do this, and again, I'll just give them the caveat of, like, time is such a crunch now that maybe this is impossible, and that's another knock of why this stuff doesn't work like it used to. You need to lock in Sophie before you approach Jawan. Because otherwise, like you'd be like, hey, if we could do this, who would you be interested in, and who would you think, and who would you want to target? And it's the other thing that Matt was not interested at all. He figured out who the kingpin was, and obviously people would be on board for this. Why wouldn't Sophie want to do that? She doesn't certainly seem like she's bonding with the man as like a father figure type. But, like, of course, people would take part of this entirely risky plan to get rid of such a threatening player as Nate.
Yeah. I am glad that I could be here for this episode so that I, too, can proudly bask in the great play of my Survivor namesake in the same way that you and John were able to last season.
Hey, man,
was it the season before?
I think it was the season before, but I mean,
season before,
mine hung around long enough that I actually did.
Yeah, it's true. He did come back around, man.
And then he was voted at the next episode.
Yeah.
It was a whole lot of ridiculous failure. And then, oh my God. And then, all right, see you later. So, like, the approach stunk. Like, it seemed like he was like, I know what I'm doing. I'm hot shit. Watch me pull out something. And, like, not only did he not lock in Sophie, not only did he actually get Jawan over, because we see Jawan right out away, who is in poor standing, and be like, get a load of this guy. He never even locked in Jason. So, like, in terms of managing to try swap worse, we can definitely, I think it's fair to say Matt did do it worse. I can appreciate the chutzpah a bit, because I thought Jason was bad.
He was really bad. But the one thing is, and the real reason why I'm saying mad is, I think there's probably a scene we didn't see with Jason that probably would have given the result away, which is why we didn't see it. But it's why he didn't play a shot in the dark, which is, I think someone on the majority who like Jason, which they all seem to like him a bit more than Matt, basically said, no, we want you to vote so that you can show us that you're with us.
Yeah. Or something to that effect. I agree. Like, it was either exactly that, and that makes most sense. Or at the very least, it was kind of made clear to him that this, wishy-washy, I'm just going to play this shot in the dark, isn't going to fly. Like, we need some level of commitment from you.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think that happened, and we didn't see it.
Right. And I think, so I think at some point, Matt realized, or Jason realized, that how he was playing was totally dumb and fixed it.
Mhm.
But all we saw was the totally dumb plays, and it was impressive how much he was like blowing the lead he had on Matt. Because you're right, they came into like having lost the challenge, and everyone was like, well, we'd sure prefer to keep Jason. And then it was very quickly, man, I don't know if we can keep Jason.
Yeah, and I'll say I actually don't even hate the like. You know what? Yeah, no, I'd vote for him, but I'm not gonna vote. Just
I don't
like,
hate that part of it.
I don't
Yeah.
hate that. Like it even says, like you're telling them this is one less vote you got to deal with. You know,
Yep.
it's like I can't feel secure here. I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark and see what happens. Like I don't think that's actually that threatening. Maybe it protects you a bit. Like oh, Jason's gonna protect his shot in the dark. Maybe it doesn't. But it's like right at the moment where they're looking for some kind of, showing that Jason actually wants to work with them, it's like, I'm not working with you. Like the question was, would you be willing to vote Matt? And like he does say the thing, like, I would be, but I think he needed to be like, no, totally. And then maybe, and again, rush for time, not thinking about it. I have plenty of time to think about a post. Just come back later. It's like, actually, I'm just going to play my shot in the dark just because I don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys aren't going to vote for me, so it'll probably just be a waste of it. So that should be good for you. That part I don't hate. What I hate is like as soon as he gets on the beach and people are like making overtures, like, hey, let's like filling him out. He's like, this is what I have to offer you. I am in so tight with my former tribe. You wouldn't believe, like, I can't even think of never but not being with them. And maybe there'd be some
they
benefit.
all love me and they want me around. And it's like, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, so, keep me. Like, you might as well say, so you should vote me out because I am clearly in a big numbers group. Like, voting out Matt isn't going to do anything about that, but me? Like, you can't do that when you're in the minority. You have to just sell out. Be like, lie. Oh man, I'm so glad to be here. I was sunk over there. But yeah, like what does he offer them? Like, well, if things don't work out, I'll provide you with some cover. It's like things aren't going to work out for you now.
I also don't understand, like, the way he phrased it was like, well, like when we all get together, I can like steer the votes away from you. And it's like, to who then? Because you're in tight with them and they have their alliance. Who's left? Like, who are you steering those votes to?
Like, and maybe in a couple days, you can work that good. Like, if like the other tribe had lost a bunch and they had just voted out like the two Uli members that are over there, then maybe this could work. But like right now, it's like, in my mind, we're going in with the advantage and you're the one requiring protection. I don't know what protection you are offering me here, sir.
That was wild.
And what was like about it is like, it just seems like he's just like an honest guy and like too honest to a fault. And it's just like, well, why would I say anything else? It's like, because motherfucker, you're on Survivor.
I don't think he seems like someone who like didn't realize how it'd be being taken.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, just like think about it for a second there. I mean, like, I agree there's like an honesty factor, but I also just think like he just like wasn't thinking about how he'd be perceived in that moment, I feel like. So, no, that was wild.
So, I think Matt played it really poorly, but I think the difference is that he is not perceived as a sociopath due to his former work environment. That was a bit strong by some man. I was like, and I say that as somebody who does not like finance bros, but clearly this man is not one anymore.
Clearly. Yeah, he works at a freaking airport now.
Yeah, he's got like this long, braided beard and stuff. Like I think that he's not the profile you're looking for here.
I think he probably wanted to get pretty far away from there once he had made some money.
Yeah, frankly, in the open conversation, Matt would be like, hell yeah, Savannah, you're right. That's why I like threw it all away so I could lug luggage. Hey, is that where the word, that's got to be the etymology of one of those terms, right?
No, I don't think so.
Nah, I bet that the term like to lug something probably comes from luggage.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm looking that up after, and if I'm right, I'll tell you, and if I'm wrong, we'll forget that it ever happened. At this point, no, because somebody's going to tell us in comments.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, with that consideration, other than like, yeah, basically feel like the decision makers on that tribe, which is mostly Savannah, not Nate, as identified by Matt. I guess, Rizo and Savannah. I think they just vied with Jason a bit more, but like, should they have? Like, was Matt the right person to vote out? Obviously, once he's like throwing out Nate's name, I don't know if you have as much choice. Nate's probably like, hey, we got to vote this guy out. He's coming for me. But like Savannah and Rizo were actually kind of thinking they should vote out Jason. Like in a vacuum, should they have?
I think here's the issue. I think the answer is probably yes, but I also think that Matt's not someone who's going to be like a good ally anyway. He has too strong beliefs and like ideas in the game. He's not just going to be a number for you. So it's like if you keep Matt over Jason, what you're hoping for there is basically like, this is another number for our voting. But he already showed you that he's going to have plans and he's going to try to make things happen. And you don't want that in just a number. Jason is at least, you know exactly where he's standing.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be with you, but fine, you know that. And if you vote out some of his allies, maybe then he would be with you. But I also think that because Jason, you would assume, was in much tighter with whatever the dominant alliance is over there, I probably would have kept Matt.
Yeah. I think it's probably right. Once Matt shows that he's like this, a lot more active player, the things that I was giving him partial credit for, it's like, hey, man, like if you're going out, might as well go out swinging. He hates Sandra's game. See how that works out for you. Yeah, I think you probably just need to get rid of him because like he might be disruptive. It didn't work this time, but isn't to say that it wouldn't work next time. But yeah, in general, like if a swap hands you a player like Jason, who had been proven to be kind of the force multiplier in previous challenges, you should probably just take him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, at the same time, though,
I wasn't even considering his puzzle prowess. It's like you get to individual challenges, and it's like he might be the guy that's just running them because he can solve every puzzle. That's
kind of what I was getting at. Now, by the same token, I can see the other one. Like, they're a tribe now, and we don't know for how long. Maybe they're like, I kind of want to win the next one. And like in the past, you'd be like, no, you just like both of these tribes should be trying to throw the challenge to get rid of the hostages that they've been given. But like in the era of these things are both also reward challenges and we don't have a Flint anymore, I could see still making the decision to like, okay, well, Matt is proven to be kind of shifty and dangerous. And, he's from the sociopathic world of finance. And I'd also like to earn some food and cook it over a fire. So maybe we'll just keep Jason.
Yeah.
But, if he goes on a crazy streak, they had their shot and they missed it. They threw it away.
Right. But if there's one thing I learned from the movie Speed, it's shoot the hostage. So.
Absolutely. The hostage they shouldn't have shot. There we go. How's that for a transition? Because there was one person I think that managed that swap very well, and that is no longer Blue Sophie.
That's right. Yeah. No, I think she did. She integrated herself into that majority very smoothly to the point where it seems like she's already establishing actual bonds. Yeah. So good for her.
Now we got to figure out how we're going to refer to this person because I don't think she isn't Blue Sophie anymore. There's a different Blue Sophie, and it's like, but then like if we call her Yellow Sophie, we already knew her as Blue Sophie.
And Sophie with an I is confusing because the other Sophie also has an I. It's just that she has an extra letter. Yeah. Maybe Sophie with an E would be better.
Yeah, actually, what, that might be smarter. What I was thinking, and again, like obviously in text it's easy, but this is a audio medium. Like maybe I should start calling her Sophie,
like the bank.
Yeah, like right. They have a stadium.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we don't have banks here.
Yeah, I figure that, everyone can just hear the difference in spelling, from how we talk.
I think you're right, though. This one can be Sophie. She's the only one we really know for the first 4 episodes. other one is Sophie with an E. That is a much more elegant decision.
I mean, we got a scene from Sophie with an E
yeah.
today.
Oh, we're going to talk about her.
Oh, okay.
But for now, when we say Sophie, we are referring to the one that has been a genuine character on the show. And when we say Sophie with an E, we're talking about the other one. Yeah, I think Sophie did a good job. Now, so again, it's easy. They're in the spot where it's easy to pull over one person than two. And obviously proven not to be much of a threat. I did like the scene though when like Savannah and her were vibing and all that, and Savannah went to great lengths to be like, explain. Oh yeah, no, like if we were friends, we both the kind of, and then like stopped short of saying we're both the cute ones. We kind of got it, and like both brown hair. It's like you can just say you're both Latina. We understand. And it's like maybe she like didn't want to do that because like the newscaster in her is like, oh, it'd be controversial to suggest that we'd make bonds over a shared cultural experience. Or, yeah, I don't know. I found that like we all know, like, oh, just when I saw you at the mat, I could tell. It's like, yeah, no, like you guys look like people who would hang out with each other. You're the pretty girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like she had built-in advantages there, but I think she also had what obviously Jason did not have in space. Is like, fuck my old tribe. Bury it in sand, kill it dead. I can't wait to be somewhere else.
It was funny when she was just like spitting and stomping on the old buff. She was like, no, get out of here.
I'm going to kick it one more time. Like, hold me back. It's like they're beating the printer in Office Space. But, yeah. And I'll say, it'd be funny if like she gained some power in this game and then like she become like, so we already had gritty underdog Sophie. What if she ends up becoming like, second season Stephanie after this and just totally mean girls it up once she gets a taste of power?
That would be incredible.
Like that whole 2-season arc in one season.
I could see it happening too.
No.
It's like, it'd be
well,
great.
you kind of had that, like, again, it's kind of a bit in there, right? Like when she was on the other tribe, she was all like, fuck astrology, which bravo. And like, Alex, I can't wait to get rid of him and all of that. Like, and the thing is, like, Stephanie had that way back in the day as well, but they just kept losing. So then she got to be the plucky hero when, she was the one who was like, what do you mean you don't know how to set a pick? What, are you worthless? So. I kind of want that for Sophie, but I don't need that because I don't need Sophie to be a villain on this season. Because I think the thing I liked most about this episode is we had one announce themselves with authority.
Yeah, who is the villain in your eyes?
So obviously, like I think back when you and I first talked, you're the only one who might remember this, and I'm sure you don't. And then a few times other in the season, I've been like, I don't know about that Shannon. It's like anytime somebody's just a little too granola, I'm like, you're probably killing the world through Facebook. But I didn't know, right? I don't know. I don't follow any of these people. But tonight, though, I feel like we can all be pretty secure in not liking that Shannon.
That was really a performance there.
Yeah.
It was like she code switched into like religious Shannon after being, like hippie Shannon and kind of merged and like just like pivoted slightly into that. And yeah, that was something. That was, yeah, I agree. Not a fan of her.
Yeah, so he's like I don't like her, and I didn't like her before. I don't like people that use this like hippie mysticism, especially because they're probably often appropriating things from other cultures too. I don't like anybody who like their life coach type. That's what I do. It's just the people that you knew back in the day hitting you up. Like everybody you know in your life is a potential client type vibes. But I also don't like people who like use religion as a tool in this game.
You mean you're not a fan of South Pacific Coach?
I'm not a fan of South Pacific. And when sometimes people are like, what?
Shocking.
I'm like, a major part of the story was like using people's, faith against them like as a manipulation tool. That's not fun.
No,
There's also
not
like
fun at all.
Very strategically inert season. There were some really gross people on it. No, I don't like that season. Yeah. So it's both. She's both. She's mixing it all up into a package. But here's the thing. I couldn't help but like kind of like respect it a bit too. Like I don't like it and I'm excited to be rooting against it and I hope it fails. But when it was kind of working, I'm like, damn, if I might have to respect this hustler just a bit for the show's purpose.
I think that in terms of the game, I think she's actually a decent player, at least from what we've seen. It's hard to tell before you ever vote, but from what we've seen, like there seems to be some game there. But yeah, no, she's someone I'm rooting against, you know. But like I contrast like her type of villainy, which is like type of thing where I'm like, ooh, no, ooh, I do not want you to succeed. No, no. Versus like almost how I see Savannah, which is much more of that kind of like self-absorbed, maybe mean girl. It's a little
girl bossy.
A little girl bossy. But like I'm like rooting for her because I find her entertaining. And like to me, she's like the clear star of the season. Yeah. But it's like, you know, if people are like, "Ooh, I don't like that Savannah," she's all like this. I'm like, yes, but that's why but that's like, you know, I agree with all those things, and I like that.
Yeah, I like that in a lot of ties, right? Yeah, like I'm not going to disagree. Yeah, no, she's very self-interested. Like she goes from 0 to 60 pretty quick on like her takes and stuff, and I'm like, give me that, you know, I'm fine, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, that's what I want from Survivor.
Yeah, it's really self-interested people who feel like they belong and actually deserve all of this. Yes. Give me that. That's the stuff. That's what I've been missing. In fact, more of late. But yeah, no, like Shannon had cult leader vibes, which again, it's like, and again, I really hope that she fails. But I was also like, wow, look, like people, she's just as sunk as Jason is. Yet, you know, Christina's coming up to her, is like, I really think you, me, and Alex could work together. Like, what's going on here? And like, they're already like we all got to sit and listen to her yogi bullshit. And by the same token, we do have people clocking it, right? Like Steven was clocking it, and Sage, who hasn't really enjoyed her time with her this whole time, was there. So it's like, it feels like I got a story finally that isn't just the tribe that we keep taking stuff away from is bad. So I think that this will be a good villain arc, and I don't think she'll be successful. It's always hard to tell because I am of the type that like reflexively recoils from like outward expressions of religion. Whereas I don't know that like the people who produce a show for network television would immediately be like, that's the villain. Like that's one thing, like you're on the internet, like that person's bad. Whereas we're like, hey, finally we got a good Christian to build a story around. Could be a thing. Like,
yeah. I don't think she's going to be ultimately successful, but I think she's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, and I'm hoping. Like I don't need her to be a final boss, but like a good mid-tier. And I'd say, like, I think if they were really trying to present what she's doing as heroic, I don't know if we get that Steven confessional. So, like, I think that she might be, like, a fun thing to root against. Where every week I'd be like, get her, so bad. But, like, I'm feeling something, which is, I think, the first time this season. So
I agree with that. Yeah.
But so we have her and we're like, hiss Shannon. But ooh, like frankly, like she's got like Heidick vibes going where it's like, oh man, I do not like this, but I kind of respect it. Again, within the purview of this strategic game, not life.
Right.
But then we
hope.
Well, hope. Yeah. I mean, again, that's only where I'm experiencing it. I'm not going to, you know, join her following or follow her. But on the other side of the coin, in the other part of the story, we get Sage. And it started to feel like this is going to be like a face-off. And frankly, like that should be the most natural if this tribe was to go to tribal council decision, Shannon or Sage. So does this make Sage, in your eyes, the hero of the story if Shannon is the villain?
No, no. I don't like Sage either.
No.
Both of these, it's like, both of these people are weirdos, and I don't like either of them, but one of them I think is actually more entertaining TV, and it's not Sage.
No. Share what happened in the DMs.
No. I mean, it's okay. So basically, we have a running debate in our Slack about whether.
Well, I don't think it's a
Sage
running
or-
debate. John's like, oh, I can't wait to see Sage beat her because Shannon sucks. And you were like,
Yeah.
Sage sucks too, John.
Yeah, basically, John's a big Sage fan, and the rest of us are not. I was more lukewarm on Sage, but just as time has worn on, I've gotten pretty negative on her. So,
So it's like, who's worse? It's like they both suck, man. I think Shannon is going to be a more entertaining suck. That's not a great way of phrasing that. Villain, somebody who I root against. It's probably a better way of saying that. Whereas Sage, all she's got, and I'll give her this. This week, she found an innovative and frankly unexpected way to talk about something else that comes from her body. I wasn't expecting that, right? Like that's been her kind of whole storyline. She now has this subplot of, ironically, the human being named Sage being like, I can't stand this hippie chick. But she didn't name herself. Probably. But it's like, okay, so we got pee and we got poop and we got barf and we got, I think maybe sweat she was talking about before too. And then all of a sudden, like blackheads and like, whoa, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Not enough Dr. Pimple Popper in your life, Andy, obviously.
Clearly not. What the fuck? Like, here's the thing. So, last week she's talking about then people don't like it in high school. It's very touching. And then also in here, part of why she's opposed to Shannon, maybe she's seen through her bullshit, is because Shannon never let her in the in group within the former tribe they were on before, the Red Tribe. But again, some of it might be, and I think Brad got at this last week. It's like maybe people didn't like you because you're fucking weird.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Yeah.
That like you don't understand that there's like kind of a thing we do in society and a thing that we don't, and it's cool to be a free spirit and all that, but if you're always grossing us out, maybe we'd be like, oh, that's Sage, she's kind of nice, huh? She's not coming tonight, is she?
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why they excluded her. Just because one opposes the other doesn't mean you got to root. There's, an old-timey phrase that some people might have heard. No matter who wins, we lose. From the advertising campaign of Aliens versus Predator. Maybe that's what's happening here.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But no, I would say no matter who wins, we win because we have one less of them. So.
Fair, but here's the thing. It could also leave one other person in the game, and that would be other Sophie. Sophie with an E, who we met for the first time last night. And I'll say she was talking either like within her tribe or maybe it was a confessional. I can't remember. It's just like pre-switch. And I was like, who the fuck is this?
My reaction was, oh, it's Sophie. Oh, wow, I really don't like Sophie.
I was like, oh, I don't know if I like her. But like I legit, like not even like a joke. I'm like, I do not recognize this human. By process of elimination, and actually my wife was the first to be like, she must be the other Sophie. I'm like, I guess so. Jesus, like nothing. I feel like I hadn't even seen her face.
Yeah.
And then she gets to the mat and they're like talking. And on one hand, this is absolutely hilarious. But on the other hand, it's like, other Sophie kind of sucks. Where she's like, that's diet food. Why are you showing me all of this shit? It's like, for one, it is hilarious when somebody, like, when Probst is like, worth playing for? Like, nah.
Yeah, right? I was like, what are you talking about?
But on the other hand, I'm like, and a lot of it really came up with a vibe, like, because she's like, that's diet food, and then she had to explain. I think she thought she was being funny, and that, like, everybody would get the joke, and then it just kind of hung there, and she had to keep explaining, like, that's what I would eat when I'm on a diet, but what I'm really looking forward to is other food, and it's like, sit back down, other Sophie. You don't need to talk again. We already have a Sophie.
Also, the joke there isn't diet food. The joke is rabbit food.
Yes.
Because that's a funnier phrase. So you messed up the joke, other Sophie.
But you're also messing up the vibe of Survivor, man. This is the show where any food is a reward. This is like Big Brother PB&J is a punishment. Here it's a glorious reward. Yeah, look, man, I'm sure you would rather other food, but this is food.
And this is probably why we're not seeing a lot of Sophie.
Yep.
Jeff probably heard that, and he's like, I don't ever want to see her on my show.
Yeah, he's thinking
Edit
like
her
he
out.
wouldn't have put that on if like it really truly offended. Like this is the moment. Like if it's like you shit on a reward, you die. Like then that I think the shitting on the reward part would have been cut. I think why we're not getting it is we got like 2 scenes and she just kind of came off as unpleasant. You know?
Yeah, she really does.
So,
So yeah.
that's 3 people on that try, man. And the other one was Christina, who very heartfelt moment and like genuinely touching about her mom. But it was also like, bonding over, Jesus, which is like, I mean, that's nice for some people, but not what I'm going to be rooting for. So,
Yeah, not really a fan of what's going on over there.
So, man, the more I talk about it, maybe I need to adjust my ranking of did I enjoy this episode from like, it was an improvement, which, wait, the more we're getting to know these people, I don't know if I'm liking them because every week now, from the first week where you and I talked just to each other, it was nice. Honestly, dudes should just talk to each other every once in a while. It doesn't have to be for content or for a show. We just had a pleasant conversation where I did like this bit, this kind of half character I was, and I was talking at you more than I was with you. But I don't know if it'd be that different if we went out for dinner. Is Rizo actually annoying or is he just young? And I've gone back and forth. Obviously, my first impression, yours was, I don't know about this kid. And then it's like, maybe he's not so bad. And then like for a couple weeks, it's like, you know what? He can be kind of entertaining. And then this week I was like, man, fuck this kid. Where were you at with Rizo?
I think I'm on the other side.
Okay.
I'm still on like, he's just young. I'm still like, especially compared to some of the people on this season, I'm like, no. Yeah. I think I'd rather watch Rizo. Like,
fair. Compared to other people on that sliding scale.
In youth slang, he clears.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was just giving me the ick. Because I can deal with calling himself the Riz God. Yeah, your name is Rizo. You had it. It's suddenly become relevant. Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he has to like do the whole Mother of Dragons preamble every time he fucking talks.
Yeah, that's
the man, the myth, the legend, the Riz God. I'm like, fuck off with that. All the way.
It is the preamble that is by far the worst part of that. The fact he calls himself that, if it was just that, I'd actually find kind of funny. The preamble, every time he does it, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And I think the key, and this is probably where it's been all season long, is when he's in confessional, I fucking can't stand him. When he's not in confessional, he's interacting with people, he's playing the game. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah. So it's just like that he feels the need to, play off this character that he had pre-planned on the way in. It's like, man, fuck off. Like, it's like Johnny Fairplay, calling himself Johnny Fairplay for one. And then I think he did other things and all that. Now, that guy sucked all the way around, so maybe it's a bad example, but it's just like, settle fucking down, okay? Like, again, you see, maybe you're even a good kid, do it for our Albania, man. But it insists upon itself, and I don't care for it.
Do you think Rizzo's really excited at like the recent stuff coming from Eric Adams? Because Eric Adams, if people don't know, has also recently become a big fan of Albania. So,
isn't it the New York of Europe, or is it, or New York, the Albania of something?
I think he said that New York's the Albania, or I forget. Wait, which way did it go? One of them is either New York's either the Albania of the U.S. or Albania is the New York of Europe. It's probably that last one. It's probably the second one there. Yeah,
Rizo is from the state of New York, so
that's what I'm saying.
But I don't believe you can vote for mayor from Yonkers. I think that is a different place. I know this because I think there was an HBO miniseries about it.
There was. Call Me a Hero.
Yeah, I watched that one. Good. Yeah, so we'll check back again next week on the Rizo annoying or not scale this week. The arrow is pointing for me to the annoying stage. And I think it's like I could allow for the first time tonight where he said the man, the myth, the legend, the Riz God. Mm-hmm. Or the second time was like, no. Which also pretty clearly was probably not the second time he said it within confessionals that were recorded in this space. They only showed 2 of them.
Yeah. I did enjoy the whole sequence of them finding the idol, mainly
Well, and also because it also showed off how great Savannah is. Yeah, sorry, you were.
That's the entire reason why. It had nothing to do with the rest of them. It's Rizzo goes to do something else, and
Probably
Savannah
cut a confessional about the man, the myth, the legend, there is God.
probably that, and then the other three go to the water well, and they're like, yeah, it's like, so we should probably talk some strategy and get some water, and she's like, no, I brought you out here to dig. What were you idiots thinking? And they're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It was that was so good. I love that.
I hope she wins.
Yeah.
Again, or at least like is the best player of the season and like shows it. And then maybe she's taken out for it. I don't know. I don't know if she's one. I don't know who's coming back. So I suppose if she doesn't win, no, I don't.
Okay.
I'm guessing the winner of this season doesn't come back, but I don't know.
Yeah,
there's really no like way of judging from the past, like of like people who go back to back, what their level of success is. I feel like there's never been a champion that went back to back, but that's a pretty small number of potential winners. That is a small number,
yeah.
Otherwise, there's people that like went out like pre-jury. There's some people that like were like the fallen angel or whatever they call them. So wide range of outcomes, not worth knowing. But yeah, I don't know who they are, and I'll stay unspoiled until I am spoiled. Frankly, I have been spoiled in the past, and I've already gotten that information already. Any other thoughts about the episode or the people who are on this season? Since there's a chance this is your last time on this season.
No, just I'm hoping the season gets better, but just in general, I'm really not liking the way that people are. I don't love this cast, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It seems like a pretty lackluster cast. Savannah's the one who I think is great. I like Nate. After that, it's.
Yeah, like I like thin. Nate, but like as like our normcore representative, not as somebody who's
exactly.
Like actually
I don't want him driving.
Interesting.
Yeah. Steven maybe, MC maybe. Yeah, but that's
the one true Sophie has some moments of interest. She got annoying at times, but that's just what's going to happen when you're always losing. So I'd be interested to see what happens when she isn't. Yeah, there's still time, like, because there's a lot of game left, despite the fact that we've watched a lot of Survivor so far without having passionate opinions. It's like, that's where we're at, where I can get like really excited about somebody who like really pushes my buttons in anger, because like at least it's something.
That's true.
So yeah, that's all for this episode of Survivor. But in the episode itself, I believe when referring to Sophie losing a challenge again, Jeff made the comment that the song remains the same, which might have been a better title than what they went with. Although I do kind of like, and frankly, when I knew the title was Go Kick Rocks Bros, I thought about like, maybe we should just do a top 3 old-timey white guy sayings. It's like, look, pal, or, you're cruising for a bruising or something. Right. Ironic that it was not said by a white guy. So cool. Way to open things up, Nate. But instead, I decided this week we're going to go with top 3 Led Zeppelin songs, which I believe the last time that you were on and we actually recorded it, we did a different music top 3. You were like, oh man, what a fluke that I could actually participate in music one. But I found another one, man.
You found the right person to talk about classic rock with. How'd you know?
Right. I just keep it just keeps aligning when you're going to be on that we got a chance to talk about dad rock, which I got to say, I don't know if the term dad rock has as much meaning as it used to, because at this point, isn't all rock dad rock?
Dude, can I just slightly diverge from
no, this show is
topic.
tight.
Yeah, exactly. I turned on a classic rock radio station recently, and you know what music they're now playing on there?
So like Pearl Jam, or was it like
station? Yeah, it's like Pearl Jam now. Yeah. It's like Pearl Jam and Nirvana are now on there.
Absolutely. Hey, that's like 30 years old, man. But like, even like if you like, if you were like too old, I'd be like the fucking Strokes. But like young people don't like make rock music so much anymore. Like,
that's
I'm sure there's still some things out there,
but
like it is not the dominant form of young people culture or pop culture anymore. Like, it is like jazz at this point. It's like people who like are into it, but it's otherwise a bit of a dead letter. So my point is, all rock music is dead rock at this point.
No, and I completely agree. Like, what is even the biggest like current rock band like that's making and releasing music?
If people have thoughts, answer in comments. Here's a fun trivia question. What was the last rock song to be number one on the Billboard Top 100 Hot 100 chart?
I couldn't even imagine. Can you give me a decade?
90s. No, early 2000s. I'll just say it was How You Remind Me by Nickelback.
Oh, okay. I actually did know that. I was going to guess Smooth because it would be funny.
I think it was that might have been the last one prior to that. Like
incredible.
This is so fucking long ago. Rock just does not matter, and I say that as somebody who like it's my favorite form of music. So, but I'm a dad, so it all fits.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm glad you were on. Otherwise, frankly, we probably wouldn't have done this list. Because I'm guessing you actually have excitable opinions about Led Zeppelin, whereas I'll say I'm not really a Led Zepp guy.
Okay.
And if I had to attribute why, I think for the most part, blues infused rock is not my jam. I like some of the songs. Like, it's not like I dislike it, but full albums worth stuff. So like I'm more of I'm a Beatles guy, not a Stones guy.
I am more of a Beatles guy than a Stones guy, but I do love Zeppelin a lot. I actually probably like Zeppelin more than the Stones, honestly.
Yeah,
so.
Well, that's fair. And then I'd say the other issue I have with Led Zeppelin songs is I feel like almost all of them could stand to be 1 minute shorter or more. And it's not just like low attention span, but it's just like there's like a minute of them that I just cut out and like then this thing would fucking rock. Like there's always just these detours and all this stuff, and we'll get into it as we go. But do you have an honorable mention?
I do. And this might be in your top three because this is obviously one of their biggest songs, but this is honorable mention for me because it was my favorite baseball player's walk-up music. It's Kashmir. Chase Utley's walk-up music. And it's like ingrained in my memory. I hear that riff and I'm like, Chase Utley's coming to bat. Oh, never mind. He's been retired for 10 years. So.
Yeah, what's tough there is, and this is obviously no fault of the band itself, I sometimes hear like those opening riffs and stuff, and I think about the fucking awful P. Diddy song for the fucking awful Godzilla soundtrack. And it's
Ooh. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and this is... I mean, the Godzilla part's the best part of it now because everything else, again, no. Obviously, it's not the song's fault, but it's tough. Is it also a good example because Led Zeppelin has just fantastic riffs, right? That's where they're powered by. But after a bit, I'm like, I've heard the riff enough. Can we wrap this thing up? So
this is why actually a lot of my favorites are actually their slower stuff because they're not as riff heavy. But like the guitar work's still great, and they feature the awesome vocals more. So
my honorable mention is going to go to "Stairway to Heaven."
Yeah.
Possibly their most famous song. Getting back into the dad rock narrative, this would be the song that they would play at the one of the last slow dances, maybe the last slow dance at the junior high dance. Now everybody's like, "How fucking old is this guy?" It was old then. Shit. Yeah, it was old at that point in time for me, but they would play it so that you could pick that special someone and then, fumble about for like 7 minutes or whatever. Now I'll say probably about 5 or 6 minutes in, it's like, this has been exciting. I'm touching her. We're close. Maybe, I work up the courage to take the hands from the waist to lower before, the teachers at the Catholic school I went to noticed or something. But maybe a bit in, it's like, all we're doing is rocking side to side here in a circle.
Yeah.
This takes a while. And then I honestly, because I was listening to it today, it's like, what the fuck did we do with it? And it speeds up at the 7 minute mark for like there. It's like, I don't have that in my game. Did they cut that part out? I don't know.
This is literally the joke in the first episode of Freaks and Geeks, only instead of Stairway to Heaven, it's I'm Sailing Away. I don't know if you remember that, but basically he asked the girl he likes to dance, and they are very slowly making their way through the crowd as I'm Sailing Away plays, which is a very slow song for most of the song, and they get into place and they're about to start swaying each other, and then it hits the fast bit and he loses the chance to slow dance with her. And that's basically like trying to dance the Stairway to Heaven. It's like, yeah,
well,
there's a
except
slow
for
part.
Stairway to Heaven, you'd have to be like clearing the entire school because like it's 6 minutes of the slow stuff before
I'm
it goes
sailing
like,
away is like 5.
Okay.
Like that's also very long.
And it's not like I didn't know how to dance the fast stuff, but like fast rock again, like that wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so that is the Stairway to Heaven memories. Exciting times for young me. All right, what do you got for number 3?
When the Levee Breaks.
All right.
It's one of their like better known songs.
Mhm.
You definitely hear it a lot, but it's not one of their like ones that you hear all the time. And again, like I like that it's a little slower than some of their other stuff, but it's not like but yeah, I just love this one. Like this is a really good song in my eyes. So When the Levee Breaks.
All right, number 3, I had Rock and Roll. Which is, I appreciate a song about rock and roll that actually rocks because that is not a universal truth.
Yep.
Billy Joel has a song that absolutely does not rock. That's all about that rock and roll, or take those old rock records off the shelf. That song does not rock at all. That song fucking sucks. Whereas this, it's a good song. I'll say there's probably at least a couple other Led Zeppelin songs that, like, if they shaved a minute off of, would overtake this song, but they didn't. Whereas with rock and roll, I feel like it holds my attention all the way out throughout.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, that's a great song. My number 2 is Ramble On because okay. Ramble On's really important because the thing about Led Zeppelin is, like Led Zeppelin songs are, they're all about the music and, as Brock Sanson says, they're about love and togetherness and hobbits.
Sex and drugs and then nerd shit, yes.
Yes, and the hobbits. And it's really, and you got to get the hobbits in here in one of these songs. So I initially had a different song in this place, but as I was thinking more about it, I was like, nah, I got to get Ramble On in here. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my number 2 as well. And yeah, sorry, I jumped in because actually that was going to be my bit too. It's funny because Led Zeppelin is, this dangerous band, this all-rocking band. And frankly, probably one of the reasons why I'm not with them for the entire 6-minute journey and the interludes and all that is because, like, I'm not high. But it's designed for that experience. And yet, just some of the nerdiest shit in their songs as well.
I mean, they have a song called The Misty Mountain Hop, which is a reference to the mountains in the Lord of the Rings. Like, they mention Mordor in Ramble On.
Yeah.
It's like they are deep Tolkien nerds. And as someone who is also a big Tolkien nerd, I respect that quite a bit. So
since you took my 2, I'm going to say number 1, and that actually is probably better to let you finish the list as an actual fan of this band, although it's possible we have the same number 1, in which case.
We don't.
All right. On the same vein, Immigrant Song kicks so much ass, so much, forward motion, all of that, and yet it's dorky fucking Norse mythology shit too, right?
Yeah. No, Immigrant Song was the song I initially had at number 2, Immigrant Song's great. It's my favorite of their like really well-known songs.
What do you got at number 1?
This is not as well-known from them, and it's I think it's a cover of like an old blues song, or I think initially it was credited to a remix of a traditional song, and then eventually they actually credited the person who wrote it eventually, probably after one of their many lawsuits against them for stealing music. But it's Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You off their first album. I love this song so much. It's got that like Led Zeppelin, it's a lot of their songs, like we go slow and then we go fast. But this one it goes slow, then it goes really hard, then it goes slow, then it goes really hard, and it just keeps going back and forth like that. And it's just like, I just love, like, it's like really beautiful in the slow parts, and then it's like really hard in the hard parts. And that to me is like the quintessential Led Zeppelin experience. So, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You.
All right, so if you have your own Led Zeppelin top 3, as there's some people in the comments even older than me. Feel free to share those in comments. So you can do that on our website, purplerockpodcast.com. People can share their thoughts about anything there as well, or via fan mail. You click the link that's on this post and you can do that. We got a couple about me this week that I'm not going to read out, but they certainly made John chuckle and myself as well. So if you sent those, give yourself a pat on the back.
And
yes,
who knows? If you're lucky, you might even be able to hear this episode.
Maybe. Maybe I should hit save again right now. But yeah, so thank you for trusting me to do this one more time, Matt.
Of course. Mainly just because it'd be even funnier if you messed up again.
And I'll say I haven't not heard yet from John that he isn't going to be here next week, so let's all find out together. Anything else?
That's it.
Let's hit the music.
This is the copyright-free outro to another niche survivor podcast.